So, good morning po sa lahat na nanonood. Today is December 1, 2023 and I'd like to congratulate Jesus de la Peña National High School, of course with their principal, Ma'am Shaila Milia, and the focal person of gender and development, Ma'am Flerida Benson. I'd like also to greet all the teaching and non-teaching personnel of Jesus de la Peña National High School. At this time, I understand kasama ko si Ma'am Cecil Samson as one of the speakers. I'd like to thank you and to appreciate the time and efforts of Ma'am Cecil Samson to be part of this activity. In advance, congratulations. And I understand it's not easy to be part of the God Focal Point system, but this is something that is fulfilling because we also understand that we are working for liberation, for freedom, and for giving an opportunity for everybody to develop his or her potential, to express himself or herself, and to accept everybody regardless of gender, and to give an opportunity to participate, and not just to participate but of course to benefit from that participation. Ayan, so I understand this morning, pasensya na, nasa biyahe kami ngayon to the regional office because we also have our training on God attribution, no? I'd like to give how many points? Siguro 3 points lang in my message this morning. One is basically to unfold something about gender sensitivity and gender responsiveness. At babanggitin natin ito in a way na hindi lang dahil may training tayo, gusto nating malaman ang mga definitions, but rather to use the principles, no? And the skills on how we are going to become gender sensitive. But I'd like to encourage na sana mag-level up na tayo, instead of being gender sensitive, maging gender responsive. So, tanong, ano bang kaibahan ng gender sensitivity and gender responsiveness? So, you are gender sensitive first if you know, and then, dahil alam mo, so wala kang ginagawa na hindi mo sasaktan yung isang tao, tatanggapin mo siya, no? Kasi kung ano ang kanyang gender and how he or she expresses himself, that's fine. Pero iba ang gender responsiveness. Kasi ang gender responsiveness, kapag nakita natin na may issue, may problema, ang katapat nun ay action. Kaya siya tinatawag na responsiveness, no? Kasi we respond. Kung nakitang issue, nakitang problema, ginagawan ka agad ng solusyon. Next question, paano natin yan gagamitin sa classroom? Ayan. So maraming paraan actually. Actually, hindi lang ito sa classroom ang pagiging gender responsive or gender sensitive. In all spheres of human affairs, nandyan yan. Kahit sa pananamit, kahit sa ownership of business or properties, kahit sa politics, kahit sa pakikipag-deal sa kapwa, nandyan yan lahat. Syempre, hindi natin ito gaanong ma-appreciate, lalo na kapag wala pa tayong gender lens. Kung na-orient tayo pero hindi naman masyado natin dinidibdib o inaalam or ginagamit, so medyo pahapyaw lang. But if we're going to learn this one, all the more that we are going to become more understanding, no? More humble, more accepting, kasi naiintindihan natin ang iba't ibang klase ng tao, and we allow everybody, we accept everybody, and we allow everybody, no? Kung ano siya. Of course, may mga limits sa mga bagay kasi wala namang absolute freedom, but in terms of who a person is and his or her nature, we accept people. Ayan, regardless of gender. So, paano natin magagamit ito sa classroom? Siyempre, una, performance ng estudyante, makikita dyan. Dito ngayon gagamitin ang sex segregated data. Ano yon? Kaya mahalaga halimbawa sa performance ng mga learners, ilan ang male, ilan ang female. Kasi kung meron kang 50 learners or 48 learners for example, tapos nakita mo ang performing lang ay let's say 15. Yan. So ilan ang hindi performing? Mas marami. At pag tiningnan mo doon, for example, tingnan mo ang babae at lalaki sa numero. So, babae ba or lalaki ang marami sa hindi performing? Kung gender sensitive ka, makikita mo yon kaagad sa datos pa lang, no? Pero kapag gender responsive ka, anong pwede mong gawin? Anong proyekto, no, ang pwede mong gawin? Hindi lang ikaw, you can also collaborate with other offices, for example, in your school, and with other teachers, with other subject areas, for example, sa ESP, for example, sa AP, no? Ano ang pwede ninyong gawin so that you can collaborate to help solve the problem. So, why am I mentioning about solving the problem? Kasi being gender responsive, or the issue, because being gender responsive is about taking action to resolve an issue. Yan ang binabanggit ko kanina. At ang tiningnan mo doon sa performance ay yung sex segregated data, boys and girls. Sino ang mas marami? Dahil makikita mo doon sila ang kailangan tulungan. Kahit nga lang halimbawa sa recognition day, makikita nyo dyan sino ang maraming awards, sinong may mga honors. Tingnan nyo, babae at lalaki. Tingnan nyo ang datos nyo at makikita nyo kung ikaw ay gender responsive na teacher, alam mo kung sino ang mga tuturuan, i-scaffold, aalalayan more. Hindi natin sinabing hindi na natin tutulungan yung iba. All of them. But of course, makikita mo sino yung mas may need. And you are going to become more responsive to them. Ayan. What else? Ano pa ba? So, aside from performance, participation. Sino dyan ang mga nagre-recite? Sino dyan yung mga active? Tingnan mo ang datos ulit nila, boys and girls. At makikita mo ulit, sinong mas active? Ang boys or yung girls? At kung mas kailangan ng tulong halimbawa ng girls, then you have to give more and appropriate attention to them. Pero kung boys naman, just the same, ganun din. Siguro sa bahaging ito, gusto ko rin linawin ang bagay tungkol sa gender and development. Kasi minsan, nami-misinterpret ang gender and development na puro lang sa women, no? Ang gender and development ay both for men and women. Kung may kailangan ang lalaki, may issue ang mga kalalakihan, kailangan tugunan. Ganun din ang mga kababaihan, because we're talking about equality, both for men and women. What else? Aside from participation, assessment results. After ng ating examination, makikita na natin dyan sino ang mataas ang nakuha, ang kalalakihan ba or kababaihan. Tingnan natin at sino yung mas nangangailangan ng tulong. Gamit ang sex segregated data, makikita nyo na, and you can be more sensitive or responsive in responding to the needs of your learners for both boys and girls. Of course, kasama na dyan ang LGBTQIA+. Yan. What else? Sa attendance. Sino may laging absent? Mas maraming absent, babae, lalaki. So, may kailangan bang tulungan? Makikita din natin yan sa sa learners at risk of dropping out, male and female. Makikita natin yan dun. So, by the use of sex segregated data, kung gender sensitive tayo, makikita natin yan kasi meron tayong gender lens. Kapag gender responsive tayo, mag-iisip na tayo ng mga proyekto na pwedeng ipasok sa gender and development plan for the next year para matugunan ang issue na yon. Okay? What else? Cohort survival rate. Generally, larger ang nito, no? Pero kung gusto mong tingnan halimbawa sa at least sa klase mo, sino mga learners mo ngayon na nakasampa sa next grade level, no? Pwede naman tong gamitin sa mas malaki na scope ng halimbawa sa DepEd, makikita ang cohort survival rate. But if you want to see halimbawa sa inyo, ilan yung mga learners mo ngayon na nakasampa, for example, sa next grade level, or depende kung paano nyo titingnan. For example, K to 3 pa ang tinitingnan, 4 to 6, no? Sa high school naman or secondary, yan ba ay from grade 7 to grade 10 and then 11 to 12? Sino yung nakakasampa sa next na level? Or may mga naiiwanan? Alin dyan ang marami, babae or lalaki? Just the same again. Sa sex segregated data, makikita natin dyan kung sino ang kailangan nating tulungan. What else? Completion rate. Oh, usually, ito yung mga nag-enroll dito sa particular, halimbawa sa kindergarten na nakarating doon sa grade 6. Yan. O kaya mula sa grade 11 na nakarating doon sa grade 12. Sinong nakakomplete, no? Babae, lalaki, titingnan nyo yung datos. And if you are gender sensitive or responsive, by using the data, no, you can do some projects to respond to that results that you've seen based on the data. So what else? So dito sa gender and development and to become gender sensitive and responsive, ang purpose lang natin dito ay dapat sa ating mga intervention walang naiiwan na learner, wala tayong naiiwan, both men and women, male and female, boys and girls, walang naiiwan gamit ang sex segregated data. Kaya para walang maiiwan, dapat meron tayong gawin. We have to respond to their needs, no, based on the data. Dahil we would like to ensure that all of them will develop their potentials, no? And then once they have developed their potential, there is now a chance that they could contribute meaningfully to building the nation. So basically, it's about developing one person, because a developed person, when you put them together, will create a developed nation na walang naiiwanan. So sana mga teachers, no, ay makonsider natin itong mga pinag-usapan natin ngayong umaga at makabuo tayo ng mga bata, no, mga leaders in the future who are caring, loving, accepting, and who are caring for everyone. Okay, maraming salamat, and once again, congratulations.